So welcome, guys. If anybody's got any questions, please just chuck me in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. Sam, I believe, asked, no, sorry, Stephen Scannell, mind going through AJ? So I'll just take a quick look at this and see if I can get an insight on what's actually going on with it for him for the week. I mean, JPY pairs are a nightmare at the minute to read because that was such a violent push down there. But short term, I would say we are bullish short term at least. We're heading in that sort of direction. I would maybe consider, because we've got this extending wick here above this previous wick on its own. So there might be some out of this sort of zone to look for sells, but we'll break it down a touch. So straight away we can go with that. So we've got possible equal highs here as well. Some form of liquidity. Sweat. Started to make decent imbalance down here. So short term, bullish. Long term, I don't actually know at the minute, but I would maybe wait for something from there. There's a real possibility. So if obviously price comes up this high and does a price shift or anything like that, you'd maybe I'd recommend at least a 1 minute shift. You'd want to see something like that, I guess. Cancel. One. Little pullback, something just before, tap into it, fill an imbalance. Maybe see something like that. That's a good possibility. Looks like we've also got some trend line liquidity in here as well as a target to push it up. Equal highs there, let's call them equal highs. Turn the Asia session off. So yeah, it could very well come and sweep all that. A bit of fuel to get it going up there. This little wick zone here interests me as well now. Bar replay. Go there. If I'm moving too fast and you can't understand what I'm sort of doing, just speak up, guys. Tell me to slow down. But obviously I've just this is a sharp up candle, down candle. Don't think that's a news time, so that's possibly pure manipulation there. Just flicking through the time frames, just see if there's anything of real interest to see. A little bit of imbalance possibly there that it might come for as well. Drop down again. This is how I'm breaking down with time frames just to mark me imbalances and things, just so you're all aware. Not so bothered by this now. It's a couple of smaller candles on even on the 1 minute, so it's not the best of imbalances to look for. Whereas you got this violent up, stops there for a minute, big push down again, So that's an area that is definitely worth a look. It's the 5 o'clock on Wednesday, the 31st of July. For anyone that wants to watch it back, mark it up. Maybe worth just marking it from, say, the 5 or the 3 and marking it a bit bigger, just in case if you wanted to go from these next candles, that zone there. But it'd be the same thing again as I said before. You'd be wanting a price to hit it, start breaking to the downside in some sort of fashion, break a little structure as a minimum. Don't just set a pending on it, because obviously there's still possibly a bit of imbalance and things to target above, and obviously this zone are marked just beforehand. I'd be very surprised if price don't want to come and fill this imbalance here, because that is a hell of a candle. Again, I'm not sure that's a news candle, so something that happened here, possible manipulation. If it is not, if it is news and someone knows differently, please speak up, let us know. But yeah, short term bullish, mate, is what I'd sort of like be suggesting for the now. But it might very well hit one of these two zones and turn back bearish. I mean, it could even just come and start filling these up as well, to be fair, but these are the first zones I'd be looking at, thinking about selling from. It's just such a big drop. I think fundamentals are a big part of what's going to happen with it, to be honest. So understanding what's happening with the Japanese banks, I'm not too sure. I don't know what that line is. There's a mistake. And then you've got as targets, so I'll put that back actually. That one there. I mean, if it does do something like that, we've got trend line under here. So targets. Targets are super important. We've possibly got some under here as well. If there's no targets, for me, there's no trade. So if you've got nothing to aim for, chances are price is just going to continue where it's the direction it's going. So definitely recommend marking up trend lines above, below, highs, lows to target. Obviously, there's also liquidity. Trend, I class a trend line as 3 touches or more, even if it's straight like level or whatever. Equals would be 2 at the same height. Don't know if I can see any, but they might be about bang on level. But yeah, targets, and that's the market open. So possible another target. You might want to target that low there, especially with these being just above it. Price might want to sweep these, take this out into something in here, and then turn bullish. It's a real possibility. Drop down, see if there's anything. 15. Lovely imbalance here as well. So price might well literally sweep them lows, fill that imbalance, turn from there. Structure wise, I'll do it on the 2 hour so it's a bit easier. So You've got structure-wise. This is probably my 15-minute structure, to be fair. Turn the magnet off. Look at that. That there. That there. Be thinking of that one there. Possibly that. Oh, miles behind. Sorry. I wanted to do closer. My bad. Sorry. Ignore that. Not the cleanest. I would be inclined if I was to do the structure beforehand. We've possibly got maybe that. Not too keen on that, but more so this is being the important one. So you've got that. So it very well could come up to this high in here if it's a valid structure high. Obviously, because it's downtrending, it could well look to doing that. So possible buys over the next couple of days. Overall, I'd say I'm bearish, but it's. I mean, that's roughly 50%, I believe, as well. So, yep, bang on 50. That first zone. Sort of danger zone for me. I know I've drawn this structure here, but we have also got this as a possible structure leg as well. So I know these little pullbacks, but this would be, say, like a 4-hour structure leg. So it could do that. So just be a little bit careful. Wait for your confirmations. Be safe. You've got to remember that we are protecting our capital. We're not just trying to be in trades for the sake of being in it. We should be picking and taking trades on only the best setups. So wait for your multiple confirmations. Good price action. And that's my opinion on AJ at the minute. I'm assuming a lot of the JPY pairs are probably the same. Let's look at NJ. Yeah, it looks about the same. Because I think you should be looking at, if you're looking at AJ, you should be really, I would advise flicking through the other JPY pairs to see if you look at multiple JPY pairs across the board, you can start to gauge that obviously this is major. If that's on every single JPY pair, you know it's the strength of the JPY rather than weakness of obviously this one's GBP. Obviously we're looking at AJ because it's on all of them. That's a sign of JPY strength rather than the weakness of the opposing pair. They're all relatively the same. Obviously, the difference being in the strength of the opposing pair. Have possibly got this Euro JPY maybe buying from down here. I don't think the others are clean looking like that. That one's taken a zone out, so maybe look at what it's tapped into, but it's maybe there is some imbalance. We got that imbalance there. Maybe tapped into that and be waiting for 15 just taking that out as well. So I think that's SMT they call that. It's taken that. And it might have tapped into this. I'd maybe class that as a zone, but we're not talking about that for now, so I'll not worry about that. Obviously, if there's any other questions, guys, please do chuck them in the chat or speak up. That's me overall analysis on AJ anyway. Stuart asked me to go over if when a Pope dies, if they're being promoted or fired. I'm going to say fired, mate, because they're pretty much nonsense. You are more than welcome, Sam. So yeah, I'm going to say fired, Stuart, mate. So that's what I'm saying. Look at Bitcoin for Woody. Absolute, mate. Yeah. Obviously, if that analysis was good enough for you, Stephen, mate, let us know. If not, I'll can try to look at it more. But it's pretty much a general overview of it anyway. So Bitcoin is short-term bullish because obviously it's currently raising, but structure-wise, structure-wise, we have got this on Bitcoin at the minute. And I think me and Stuart missed this sell here, Mr. Hooton. So we have a real possibility that anywhere from where it is now to this high, we could possibly start seeing sells. That's where we are now. So yes, as long as structures to be respected, we could well start seeing sells from somewhere in here to maybe create a new lower low because we've had a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, hopefully coming in, and then to hopefully create a lower low. I did obviously, I think when I first took over the supply and demand section, I did actually predict this coming to this zone here. I think it was on the first day. I was maybe a bit excited and posting stuff, but there's very little structure in here for me to look at breaking because it's pretty much just down, rarely any pullbacks, but predicted it anyway. That's the important part, I guess. I would say, obviously, I don't know how high it's going to go, but if I was to make a prediction, let's just do that. Drop down. So we've got this here. I quite like that zone there. There. I'll be leaving this on because I'll look at it for my system. But what we've got this big imbalance here, and what it does is this is the order block that causes the breaker structure here. Directly causes that. There's no pullbacks. There's nothing. So breaker structure. This for me is a high probability zone now. Obviously, I'm aware that there's imbalance here, and it might well come back for them. I mean, it might even come back for this. I think when I was looking at this, actually, I don't think it comes back on the 1 minute. So, I mean, it could easily come back and tag that as an entry, but it's been that long. I would wait. If it come that high, I'd be waiting for another 1 minute shift at least. But I think it's just it didn't have my entry model. So my entry model is it comes up here, does a high, breaks the 1 minute low, comes back, mitigates the last order block. That's my entry model. I think it's possibly one of those where as soon as it broke below a shoulder line, that should have been where I got in maybe, but that's not my model, so it's not one I took. But I do often see that price will react out of these from these order blocks that cause these big structure breaks. I know this breaks a low here, but this is I'm not even sure I'd class that as a pullback on that. Maybe me 5-minute pullback that would have been on 2 hour. Yeah, I think I'd class that as a 15-minute structure maybe, but more than likely this would be my 15-minute structure. Because we've got this coming down here. This is heading down. This is clearly heading up. It's a clear distinction. So definitely that at least. Maybe consider this. But yeah. But yeah, this is the order block that causes this structure break from this line. So mark this one up. I would say, I mean, it's showing imbalance here on the 15, but there's an overlap of candles. So I would say mark it from the hourly at least from there. We want the zone. If you're trading my way, at least I will always say, I mean, I said it this morning as well to Tom, because if you can reduce your zones, I mean, we can filter this down to the 1 minute or even the 15-second or whatever. But when we're just marking our POIs, we want to make sure that our zones are big enough to catch the move. So price comes in here, price comes up from there. We want to make sure that it tags our box, hits our alert and everything. We don't want to make it so tight that it does that and then goes. We want to make sure that obviously it's big enough that you catch it, but not too big that you end up becoming. I mean, if we marked it down there, price could react down away from here just for a little pullback and then continue long. So reduce your boxes if you want, but don't do it too much. Like I say, the 2 hours fine on this, maybe even the hour. Same again. I'll be waiting for 15-minute breaks and 1 minute breaks. But like I say, it could also very well come up here. I will just do this. I want to see if there's some imbalances as well on the lowers. Straight away. Straight away, we've got this imbalance. Still. So yellow line imbalance here. I always draw my lines on the fill of the imbalance. So if you see a line on my chart and in its price is literally just tagged above it, you'll maybe often see this a lot on my charts. Price does that. That means because my imbalance is here and this is the top line of it. So because I'm working to imbalance fills, I'm just putting a line at the top. Or if I'm looking at the opposite side, if I'm looking at price coming down and then reacting for a buy, obviously it'll be at the bottom. But so I've just got a question. When you're looking for breaker structure, how high do you look on the timeframes for your entry? As in, do you want all timeframes to be showing same direction? Good question, mate. Yes. Yeah, so I'll show you the trade just above in a sec, mate. I'll show you what my sort of thought process is from the previous trade that I missed. I'll just get these imbalances marked quick. Yeah, price could easily come and fill these imbalances as well. So multiple time frames. Let's get onto this. Just delete that. So the structure I drew earlier, so we've got a 4-hour downtrending. Yeah. So this one here breaks below, don't break below it anyway, but it breaks below multiple little zones down here. So break a structure on the 4-hour to the downside here. Price comes back. I'm looking then on the 15-minute, which is probably under here. So that's, I'll draw arrows on the time frame. Break a structure under here. Break a structure. Do that red so you can see it. Break a structure there, 4-hour. Break of structure on the 15, which is probably somewhere around here. Do that one orange because orange is my 15. And then obviously it comes in here and I'm waiting for it to do a 1-minute thing, which is a bit small to show you, I guess, but I can show you what did happen. So straight away on this, my first point would have been here. 1-minute break of structure under here, mate. That one there. And then obviously I'd set an alert at this structure break once it made a high. I would then make, me personally, I would at this point here where it closes below, I would then come back and look for highest imbalance. Can't remember where I had my thing, deleted it now, but I'd be dropping to the 15 and 5. Maybe a touch up here, maybe this zone here. It might have even been up here, mate, and I might have missed it. An entry. Imbalance here. So if that gets mitigated, that could well be what I missed. Sort of disappears there though. Mitigated. Possibly. Maybe got that. Like I said, I don't think it come back, mate. But there's nothing I can see on the 5 really. But it sometimes it can happen really quick. Sometimes it can be not so quick. That could have been the one there. I don't know. But just mitigate that one there. And then it goes. So it starts creating these imbalances that I've marked up earlier. Yeah, I mean these could have been the valid entries somewhere, mate. It's not. I missed it anyway. It's pointless. But yeah, obviously the prior message is obviously we've had a 4-hour breaker structure down here because you've got this up here. So 4-hour break here, 15 here, and then a 1 in there that whatever it does. No worries, mate. You are more than welcome. I've got 3 minutes left, guys. So what I'll probably call it there unless anyone's got any quick last minute questions. Get these marked up like the decent little zones. So this one on the 31st of July. I'm on the 4-hour at the minute. The roughly 5 o'clock. A couple of imbalances in here. But as always, wait for your confirmations, please. Yeah, if there's nothing else, guys, I'll call it there, and I'll speak to you all in the chats. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.